Haiti's political system is one sometimes where it's incredibly challenging, right? You also have private sector actors that, in many cases, benefit from the status quo. Mm-hmm. And you have a civil society and even a rural Haitian population that doesn't have a seat at the table. We know that very clearly. And so as a part of, I think people have talked about, our relationship with Moise. They've talked about our relationship with Claude Joseph and with Ariel Henry. I'll tell you, when I went to Haiti the first time after the assassination, the message that we sent to Claude Joseph and to Ariel Henry and to Joseph Lambert and everybody we met with was, we're not going to endorse anybody. We need you all to come together and recognizing that this is an interim government, that you need to come together and organize yourself in a way that brings all political actors together, number one. And number two, the Montana group, which I know you're familiar with, mm-hmm. and civil society has to be a part of this conversation. This was pre-earthquake. The elected community, Father Reggie was, who's a very kind and welcoming person, was saying, look, you guys got to get Haiti right. And he was, pressing us a lot. So that's a dialogue that we embrace and we want to continue to maintain.
What kind of criticism did you get? You said you got criticism. What were some of them?
Well, look, I'll tell you, I'll be candid. The critique, and I know you probably know this as well, is there's a question about the policy of this administration with regard to Jovenel Moise, right? And his mandate. And then a question then about interim Prime Minister Ariel Henry and his legitimacy, mm-hmm. right? And whether we had endorsed, and what he said to us, which really stuck with me, was he said, you got to start from scratch on Haiti. Mm-hmm. There is an opportunity for a new and different Haiti, but you have to engage civil society. And that, coming particularly from a man of the cloth, but from Father Reggie to say that is I think that's where we're at. And that's something that we want to try to do. We're not always going to get it right, but I'll tell you, the commitment that you're going to get from this administration is that there will be dialogue, there will be engagement, and there'll be an opportunity for the diaspora to have a seat at the table.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned about Haitian solutions and challenges. How do you see them? What kind of challenges that Haiti faces right now, and what are some of the solutions as you understood them from your conversations with different sectors in Haiti?
Well, look, I think part of the solution is in terms of supporting Haitian solutions is this dialogue, right? You have political actors that come from all sorts of sides and different political groups, but you also have a very active and robust civil society in Haiti. The Montana group, which I think is one of probably the most comprehensive groups. You also have the religious organizations, not just Christian and Protestant, but also the Voodoo community.
What role do you see the diaspora play in Haiti in concert with the U.S. government?
Well, look, like I said, is what the president has directed us to do is to make sure that elected officials, but also the diaspora community, have a seat at the table. They are already organized on their own to try to provide in-kind contributions to the response. We've also gotten calls from Haitian doctors who want to help. So I think there's a lot that the Haitian diaspora can do. And for us, the task is to make sure that they're pushing on an open door with the administrations, particularly with the White House. And that's something that we're committed to have that conversation with them.